This is the moment. Goodbye openclaw. Look at this release from Claude, where they now introduce to Claude Cowork scheduled task. So this means I can now set up recurring tasks. This is exactly what you would expect from a personal assistant, and it will have everything ready in the morning or whenever you need it. So I see endless options to use this. And obviously these things were able with Claude Code and building your own local things, but having it so simple to access in Claude Cowork is what makes the change. And we are here. I already updated Claude and it is already available and we want to test this. So here on the side we see already a new tab called scheduled. If you go here, if you have your scheduled tasks, and I can now create a new task, what it should do. Okay, so the thing is I can set it up here, or I simply just create a new task here in Cowork and I ask it organize every morning the scan inbox and give me a report what you've done. So here I'm in the personal assistant demo, which I created in a previous video where I explained to you how you can set up your AI personal assistant on a local folder. So if you haven't watched this, make sure to check this out too. So very quickly, here is this folder and this is what we've created last time. It was simply a Claude MD that explains AI what it should do and what it's all about. And there is a scan inbox. I showed you already how you can just have a folder where you scan in your documents and Claude will organize them, and then you have an output so everything gets organized here. And what we want to do here now, we leverage this so we can just set this up once and forget. And that's just one of endless examples obviously that we can use. And in the end of the video I share you another idea that I have working with a team that is just mind-blowing. Okay, but with this simple example, let's see how Claude will set this up. We are in this PA demo folder and we just ask to do this every morning. And I also, and that's thinking outside the box, you know, instead of just saying organize all these documents into the different folders, you might say, but how do I know what was done? And that's where you just say, well, and report. So it will probably come up with creating text files with a report or other ways that we can do this. Let's see what happens. All right. So you see it immediately reads the instructions, which is the Claude MD file in the folder. So it knows already who it is, who I am, what the business is about. That's all the things that we did in the previous video. You see it's using now the schedule skill. And now it's asking me, when do you want to have this? Okay, I could have it in, as I said, morning. I could give my own time that I want to have here, but let's say every morning 7 a.m. it should do this. So the moment I come into office, everything is up ready. Here we see under the hood what it's doing. I love that we have this nice interface. We have the transparency, what's going on here, and yet I can still dive deeper to better understand what's going on. I think this will go a long way, Cowork, and it will find a wide adoption, no doubt about this, amongst teams and business owners. Well, now it tries to processing, but the inbox is empty. Yeah, that's what it figured out. Now here we go. It uses this command now from scheduled skill. That's not a good outcome. Okay, it seems it's not unlocked yet, but I have no doubt it will work because there were already ways you were able to make this work with Claude Code by simply asking. I mean, openclaw was built with Claude Code. So that's the thing that we have here now. But the amazing thing is that it is aware it becomes available, right? So obviously the skill is already there, but it seems it's not yet able to set it up. But for now, we can go back to the scheduled task and create a new task this way. So let's say daily scan folder organization. Move everything that is in the scan inbox into the relevant document folders and provide a report every day what you have done in an markdown file format in a dedicated reports folder. I can check which one it should use. Opus might be overkill, but let's go for it until I'm hitting the limits and I'm realizing this. Then I will slow down with these things. But for now, here's the PA demo. Frequency, hourly, daily, weekly, daily. And here I can pick the time, 7 p.m. But I could say now hourly, well, manual. And there we go. Here's the task. And here we have it. And we can run it now. So I set it up every day at 7 a.m. Here are the instructions. Here's the folder. Run it now. Schedule task. Start it. I can view. And here we see it has its own tab where you now see all the scheduled tasks running besides the recent tabs. Okay, so we can hide them. And now you see it's doing this. And you see that's already considering a scheduled task. And this will happen every morning. Isn't this amazing? But obviously I can also say create a new task. Daily trend trend report. The trends in AI productivity of the past 24 hours. Use Perplexity and go to the web and to X to find the latest news about AI productivity that's relevant for our persona. So see, here I'm already entering something that I perfectly see now for my personal team that is working here in another panel. I made a video already about Larry and his team. So if you want to check this out, you can watch it. That's what I'm talking about. It has the knowledge about the business, our branding, the ICOR methodology, all the things. And with this context, which always matters, having something like this scheduled is just so powerful. And now I can say, give it the folder. We can use this again. And then again, I could now have several tasks that do gather things and place them into the same folder and have then a final task later that will then summarize everything up and create a report out of this. This is so powerful, guys. See? And now let's see what happens if I run this. Here's a scanned document, see, and found it, and it said probably it's done because it's empty. See, nothing to process. But that's the thing. Now I really just need to scan my documents. They all end up in this folder as my scanner is connected with Dropbox, and Dropbox is here on my local file drive. And now I have a daily process to always organize all these files. Isn't this mind-blowing, guys? And here, daily trend, boom, it goes out. See, it runs this, and this will run every morning to find all the latest news, and it will create a report for me. This is a game changer. Well, I have no words, guys. I have no words. And it's so easy to access for everybody out there. It's no longer for nerds. It is now for professionals to use it. If coding is not your expertise, this is now the moment. And the thing I wanted to say, how you can think further, is you have a shared folder with your team. So now everybody can work on their things and the final products come into one folder where you then have, maybe as the team leader or as the business owner, you can let AI process this folder to give you reports about what is in there, gather the things together that all the different experts provided. So there's no longer a need of somebody doing the research and bringing everything together. It can be now AI doing this. And this is mind-blowing, guys. This is life-changing for so many teams, I have no doubt. And here we are. The report is finished. Well, I could even tell it, make a PowerPoint presentation out of it, fill this information into an Excel sheet, or as we are using even a database in the cloud where we keep updating the thing so we are always up to date. So here we are, it created it, and this runs now every morning and hourly. I can check it hourly, is there anything new that I miss out? I can then have a trigger that sends me a message that, hey, look it up. Or, and this is just coming, I have no doubt, because we now have remote control of Claude Code already, and if it is in Claude Code, it will come to Cowork too, that we will have access via phone. Everything is interconnected. This will be mind-blowing, guys. So let's see what the report says, if there's anything that I missed. The big story, AI productivity paradox, is now mainstream. Well, I will read this calmly, and if there's anything interesting, you can be sure that you will be first to hear it. And here we have the reports, and here we have the report of what was done, and boom, there we go. And we could also just, that's where you refine these things. You just test it, and then you just come up with better ideas. And another idea would be just to keep one file as a logging file. So it will always have on top the latest updates of the report, as there are only this short, and then you just have a list, or obviously you could have a database or even Excel sheet or anything like that where you can keep leveraging this. Guys, I'm really impressed. This is a huge step forward. I have no words. And be sure that on this channel, we will talk about a lot more use cases. And if you're not a member of my ICOR yet, now is the time, because our new AI Like a Pro course is now launching. And this is what we see is really needed for the non-technical person to leverage AI in their businesses and with their teams to really start leveraging this technology. So you can sign up for free, and I'll catch you up in there or in the next video.